In today's video, we're going to be taking a look at a multimeter that Banggood had sent over. I've had a chance to get familiar with it. Oh, and there is going to be a giveaway. I don't know what it is yet. I still have to work out those details, but this video will have some sort of giveaway. But anyways, I'm going to go over the pros and the cons of this little guy, and we're going to do a little bit of a deep dive, maybe even take it apart. But let's get started with going through some of the features and functions. Before I get too far ahead of myself, we'll just see what the meter came with. This is how it was shipped. They just shipped it in one of these little plasticky, flimsy envelopes, and the cardboard box didn't do so well. It did get a little beat up in shipping. But the meter itself was okay because it's shipped inside of this mostly rigid, hard plastic case. Reusable. What's nice. It wasn't... it's got some decent protection to it. It's not super squish proof, but whatever. You get the point. It worked. Got some meter leads. I'll take a look at that. But I did see it came with one surface mount fuse. I assume it's going to be on a socket. I don't think they would intend this to be soldered in. I think it's going to be user serviceable. We'll have to take it apart and see. But it's nice that they include that. It was inside of this little plastic pouch. But like I said, I've had a chance to get used to it and use it. And there's a little bit of a learning curve to using it because it is... it's got a lot of stuff packed into this little guy. USB-C, and we'll get into the battery here also. Did come with 2 owners manual. One of them is in English. It's got a decent amount of pages too. A really small print, but it covers a lot. Anyways, the real star of the show with this thing is the thermal camera. I'm going to show some footage of it. And it's really impressive. It's really good. I've had thermal cameras before, like this unit here, which was also a Banggood unit. This is probably 5 years old now. But the resolution difference and the frame rate difference is very noticeable. Now on this unit, the resolution is 32 by 32. And on this one, it is 256 by 192. But also the refresh rate. Let's see. I don't want you to save a picture. The refresh rate is noticeably better on the new unit. See if we can get a view of both. See, on the one on the left, it's just a mushy mess. But the one on the right, you can actually make out a hand. I mean, it really is really good. And we'll do lots of things with a thermal camera with this high resolution. I mean, like finding small surface mount shorted capacitors will be a piece of cake with this unit. But it's got other uses too. So taking a look at my vaulted ceilings, you can actually see where I'm missing some insulation right up in there in the blue. And you can actually see the rafters, joists. I don't know, what would you call the 2x4s on the back side of the drywall there. You can actually see them right through the drywall. There's a kitty. Oh, he found a heat vent. See, nice little warm spot right there. Here we are at a different part of the house. And you can see where the heat vents are located behind the drywall here. A couple of hot spots. There's a heat vent register right there. You can see where it's blowing on the walls, making the walls warm. Here we have another kitty. Oh, it does have a macro lens too. So see on the back here, you just flip this over and you can get up close. There we go. Yeah, kitty. See, you can see the fur. That is just amazing, really. I mean, look at that. You can see the hair on the cat. Take a look at my coffee cup sitting on the mini fridge. But if you notice down here, it's still displaying the multimeter, so you can use the multimeter while using the thermal camera at the same time. Right now it's just set to voltage, but I can cycle through the different settings. You know, I can like have it on continuity while looking through the thermal cam. Got some hot stuff behind my mini fridge there. Just you know, the mini fridge compressor blowing the hot air out back there. Here I just have a couple of resistors. I'm going to apply power to so we can watch it get hot. I'm just going to go ahead and, right now we're at no voltage, but I'm just going to turn the power supply up a little bit and we should be able to see those resistors. Yep, there you go, look at that. And again, the resolution is really good. It's like you can see that's resistors. And with my other one, with my old one, oops, it's shutting off. Let me see if I can get this stupid thing turned back on again. On. We'll try it with the old one and see the difference. Okay. Right now it's cold again. I'm just going to turn up power, and it's not picking up anything. Oh, there we go. So there definitely is hot. Oh, wait. Okay, there's something kind of glowy right there. But with this new one, you can easily tell what it is. I'm impressed. To switch over to multimeter mode, just click the multimeter button here, the first one. And this is the selector switch. So instead of having like a traditional dial, it just has an up and down, almost like a volume rocker to go through the different settings. We'll just put it on volts. Get out the supplied meter leads. Now this thing, it surprised me again in just regular multimeter mode, because it's got, like at the top it has an old school needle indicator for all you old timers that like to see a physical needle move. I mean, I know it's not a real physical needle moving, but you know, you get the idea. You get the gist. It has a simulated needle at the top here. Tell you what, we'll just do this. And we'll do that. Give it some power. So we'll turn on the power supply. So at the top, it has, see, there's your simulated needle movement. You got your traditional digits. And at the bottom, it graphs out what it's doing. I'm not going to call it an oscilloscope, but if I move the voltage around, it should. Why is it saying negative? Oh, Jesus Christ. Good thing I wasn't doing anything important. There, now it shouldn't say negative volt. Now it's positive volt. Anyways, I should have graphed that out. See that there? Yeah, it graphs out what it's doing. I'm just going to apply power and disconnect power. When we see the graph here, the green graph is bouncing up and down. I thought that was pretty cool. One of the modes I find myself using the most is probably continuity. So let's give that a whirl. It does have a stand on the back. See if that's any easier for you to see the screen. But it does have a bit of a delay. Well, first of all, these meter leads are probably, yeah, these meter leads are probably not good, but there is a delay, which I don't like. Yeah, there's a delay, and there's probably just not the greatest coding on these leads. Tell you what, let's just switch over to some different leads. All right, we're going to use some of the leads that I typically use. Definitely more consistent. So the leads that come with, you know, they're the freebies. But yeah, there's just a slight delay, which is only a problem if you want to drag across the lead of a chip. Say you have a chip with, you know, 100 pins, and you want to know which one of those pins are shorted to ground. Well, you can just, you know, drag the tip of the lead across all those pins quickly, and you'll get a quick beep if there's a pin to ground. But with that delay, you'd really have to slow down your drag so it catches it. That's really the only instance where you want a super fast continuity. It's not terrible. I mean, yeah, it's probably just, I can just tell it's slightly laggier than what I'm used to with my old trusty Unity. It's pretty much instant because, well, there's no processor really. It's not doing a bunch of things. This thing's got stuff going on, so it's got to think about it, I think, you know. Yeah, it's not too shabby. Got capacitor. I don't know. Do I have a capacitor? Should we try that? There's capacitor. I'll try to do the polarity correct this time. That should be positive. This should be negative. This should meter as this is 100 microfarads. I'm not going to touch the lead to affect the capacitance. Yeah, there we go. 103-ish microfarads. It does what it's supposed to do. Looks good. We already played with voltage. That's pretty neat. Ohms. We can ohm out the resistors I was using to heat up. And they are 75 ohms. That's pretty quick. Got to try to get both leads at the same time here. Yeah, it's a pretty responsive ohm reading. That ain't too shabby. Let's go to diode. Diode mode is under continuity. So see here, this button is marked as diode now. So if I click that, it switches over to diode. If I click it again, see it's labeled as buzz. It takes me back to continuity. We're going to go back onto diode. And with a short, ooh, we get a beep. Get the 0 volts. Perfect. Let's find an LED. Okay, here I have just a standard 5mm LED. No built-in dropper resistor or anything. It's just your run-of-the-mill LED. And will it light? Yeah, it does light. So there is enough. Was I picking that up on the camera? Yeah. So there is enough voltage in diode check mode to run an LED, which is great if you just want to quickly check an LED. So that's good. That's perfect. I switched it over to current mode. I moved the meter leads over to check current. I just using the same power supply again. Set to 1 amp, and there's the 1 amp of current, and it does show a 10 amp max. So here it has a neat little feature. Right now it's set to ohms, but if I just put the lead in the current jack, it senses that and automatically switches over to amps. That is cool. I mean, that not all meters do that, but here we're gonna use the chart function again. I'm just gonna disconnect and reconnect power, and you can see we're charting out what's going on here. That's just a cool little feature. I can see that coming in handy if I'm troubleshooting something and need to really monitor it closely, or if something has just a quick pulse and if I need to catch it over a period of time, I can see it on the chart. Here's the non-contact voltage detection. Yeah, there you go. It's picking up the high voltage from my stereo. So you could use that to see if an outlet is live or dead without having to actually stick meter probes in the outlet. It does have an SD card in here somewhere and it can save. So if I push and hold the save button, it will take a screenshot. There it is. Here we'll just take a look around the unit. At the bottom we have, it looks like a camera mount, a brass insert there. I suppose that's to set it up on a camera mount. Here's your USB-C. There was a rubber plug on here which I flicked off and threw in the box. It kind of got annoying, so I just took it off. Here's your rocker for selections. Power buttons on this side. And on the back, again, here's the macro lens that you can slide over. Oh, and there's a flashlight there, which if I push and hold, that should give me access to this bottom row, and that's the flashlight button right there. Gotta let it boot up. That's one of the disadvantages to this unit, is it does take it a minute to boot up. So now if I push and hold, yeah, so their little flashlight emblem. Oh, it is working. So there's your flashlight. And yeah, there's a little icon right there, the flashlight. Not super bright, but I mean, if you need something that's there. If I push and hold, it should shut off. Yes, and it did. All right. So that's a look around the unit. I think it's time to take it apart. I did notice down in this hole they have a little warranty sticker looking guy right in there. You see that? I don't know if to avoid a warranty, but that's what this is all about. Let's avoid some warranties. I want to see what's inside this thing. I'm going to start with the battery. Should come out pretty easy. Little unlock slider thingy much bob there. So here we have an 18650, I believe, yes. A rechargeable, replaceable 18650. Oh, and there's the SD card right there. So this is a perfect solution. I like this. It's rechargeable and it's easily replaceable. Very happy to see that. So there is the SD card. I wonder if I just slide that up. Oh, I'll find that out later when I upload the image to the video. There's the fuse. There's the fuse right there. You see that? It is on a socket. Let's get some light in there. So there we go. A user serviceable fuse, and it did come with the one replacement. That's great. So we don't have to take it apart to change the fuse or to change the battery. But you know what? I mean, we're here. Let's just see what it's like on the inside. So far, I am impressed with it. It feels very well polished. They do make an MT, this is an MT15, but I think there's an MT13 out there, and it just doesn't seem as well polished. The battery tray seems unfinished, and they have a weird clip for the macro lens, but this is built in on a slider, so I think they did a really good job with the fit and finish and just really polishing up all those small little details on this model. Ooh, and there we go. We are in. And they did grind off the part numbers on, you know what? I can kind of faintly see a part number on that chip. They left the part number on this one. But that's the inside. There's your camera, there's your flashlight, power button, selector buttons, USB-C, looks like there's a little relay. Here's your jacks, probably a current shunt, and there's your fuse, SD card. And yeah, I don't see anything alarming. I don't know if I can, yeah, I'll probably have to slide these out to get the board out. Maybe I'm not going to take the board out, but that gives you an idea. No, it doesn't look like it's weatherproof or anything. It's not splash proof. There's no rubber gasket, but there is a raised lip edge here that fits inside of this groove. So when this is together, it really seals it up tight. Yeah, again, it's a really good fit and finish going on here. When it comes to Chinese tools, I usually try to set my expectations accordingly. I mean, a tractor serves several purposes. It's right there on the box, so you know. But this little unit surprised me. Some of the cons is the price. This guy is between $230 and $250, depending on if you get the Pro model. I think the Pro model is the one with the macro lens that's on the back. I think they have one that's a little bit cheaper that does not have the macro lens. And another one of the cons is the boot time. Like here, if I turn it on from completely powered off, it shows you that it does take a minute for it to boot up and turn on to where it can be used. See, that's how long it takes for it to come to life. And there is a little bit of a learning curve just because it does have so much going on. You kind of have to not necessarily memorize, but just kind of get a feel what all the buttons do and where they're at. And it's small. I mean, that's not necessarily a bad thing, but she is pretty dainty. I mean, like this is more of a traditional sized multimeter, and yeah, she's pocket sized. But again, that's not necessarily a bad thing. Before I conclude today's video, I'm just going to put this in the menu mode so you can get an idea of everything that can be changed or adjusted. Like for example, in boot mode, you can select if you want it to start up as an infrared camera or start up as a multimeter. Maybe it'll boot faster if it's just in multimeter mode. I don't know, but I'm just going to run through all the different settings you can change and parameters and whatnots. And there will be a giveaway. I don't know what it is yet, but down below in the comments section, just say enter me in the giveaway, and I'll randomly select someone 24 hours after this video goes live, and you're going to win a mystery prize. I don't know what it is yet. I still have to work that out with the guys at Banggood. But thanks for watching, and appreciate it. We'll see you all in the next video.